Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. My name is Brian Wright, National Keynote Speaker and CEO of New Patient Group. I want to welcome you into this webinar about how to operate your practice like a high-level business, functioning like the top 1% in order to skyrocket your practice growth. What we're going to talk about today are 7 disconnects between the top 1% and the 99%. There's 7 significant disconnects. There's a lot more, and what we're going to talk about today, literally each topic could be a 3-day presentation. Could go into hours upon hours of information about this stuff. But we're going to condense it down to try to get through it and also show you a little bit on how you group all this together and grow your practice at the highest possible level. So those 7 disconnects. The first one, today's consumer versus healthcare. What's proven to grow organizations at record levels versus what healthcare does. What is viewed as production versus what production actually is. What is viewed as training versus what training really is. Consumer buying tendencies versus how money is presented inside the practice environment. What is viewed as a goal versus what a goal actually is. And the statistics that have always been tracked inside the practice environment versus statistics that need to be tracked and aren't. Those are what we're going to dive. There's usually nowhere in between, which leads us to disconnect number 4. And that is what is viewed as training versus what training really is. The facts are you don't build a business. You build people. And then your people build the business for you. If you take that approach, again, you're doing what the best of the best, the Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates, the best of the best do to grow their organization from the inside out. They know that they need to build their people, and then their people are going to grow their organization. Because something that's very important, and again, why training in healthcare is not training, is that science has proven to us that human beings require training to be ongoing, consistent, repetitive, all of those things. You don't train on the phones once in somebody's facility and come back and you're done. It doesn't work that way. If you want to go learn how to put in a crown, you don't go to someone's facility, do it for a week, and come back and be done. No, you take ongoing, consistent classes to always improve your clinical skills. However, you're doing yourself and your team a disservice if you don't do it the exact same way from a commercial standpoint. Because 90% of the healthcare practice is commercial. It's sales, verbiage, customer service, overcoming objections, handling complaints, presentation skills, learning how to present money to consumers. That's probably 8, 9, 10 examples of 100 I could give. It's never ending. And this is why the outdated consulting model does not work. It produces a low return on investment because people need ongoing training to be successful. Training does not end. You don't get to a point and say, I'm great at it, and you don't train anymore. Otherwise, Major League Baseball shortstops would get to the majors and stop taking ground balls every day. Human beings require ongoing training to be consistent, to be effective, to become the best they can be at whatever it is they're doing. We all need it. Regardless of what our skill is, we all need it. And training and development is the number 1 investment you will ever make in your career. It's not even close. If you're a restaurant, if you're an orthodontic practice, a GP practice, training and development, there's nothing else. Because we've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times, we need more new patients. So what do? They double down on external marketing. When the best of the best double down on what they're doing internally. Because if you're internally right, you're not going to need more new patients. Because the word around the community, does it happen overnight? No, it's hard work. It takes time. Anything worthwhile does take time. Can external marketing get you 5 patients tomorrow? Sure. However, it does not make you recession-proof like the inside out and ensure that you outlast your competition forever and put a ton of money in your pocket over the course of time. Now, some of the things we're talking about, because you don't build a business, you build people, and they build it for you. Remember I said that. 90% of your practice is what you see on the screen. Now, there's hundreds more. Obviously, this is for discussion purposes, but you get the point. Even the way you as a doctor talk to the patients about their clinical needs, that's a commercial skill set. That's verbiage. That's not a clinical skill set. You in the mouth, that's a different story. But I make that point because a lot of times it goes overseen by the 99%. How many hundreds of operations occur every day that require a commercial skill set, business acumen, high-level training, ongoing training to ensure success? Because right now, most healthcare practices, the 99%, trust their team to provide high-level customer service every day. Meanwhile, that team couldn't be hired by a commercial organization that specializes in customer service. Yet you trust them to do that every single day. And again, it's not criticism. It's that if you want to run your business or practice like a high-level business, a high-level CEO, these are things you realize because they're all missed opportunity. Everything you see on that screen, there is room for 15% growth. Right there, each one. Customer service, you improve that, you can grow 15% just because of that. On down the list. You train your hygienist, if you're a GP practice, how to properly present, overcome objections, and sell. If they have that commercial skill set, you easily start more treatment out of hygiene. And the list goes on and on. It's so imperative. And you've got to train and wake up every day. And this is, again, high-level CEO stuff. CEO to CEO, not CEO to doctor. This is CEO to CEO right now. You've got to work every day as if somebody is trying to take that away from you. That's why I love this quote from Mark Cuban. Every day you have to have the mentality that your competition down the street is doing something to take it all away from you. Because the top 1%, they're constantly adjusting, they're constantly learning, changing, and improving. They never have the mindset of, well, this is how we've always done it. Or we don't have time to improve or train. We have too many patients on the schedule. Patients don't equate to production. Internal operations and improving them equates to production because your people, including you, are better when you do have patients on the schedule at closing them and getting referrals from them and having that cycle never end.